We're getting so close, because when Ethereum breaks out of this 5-year downtrend versus Bitcoin, it has the potential to ignite the entire crypto market once more. Because the last time it happened, all the way back in 2021, it triggered the altcoin market to go wild for months. In this video, I'll explain exactly why yesterday's CPI data from the Fed that caused Bitcoin and Ethereum to pump along with gold and silver confirms something truly exciting could be lining up for crypto in the next few weeks. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and let's get in before it's too late. Now guys, before we dive in and check out that Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart, which really has been the thing that has been holding back the entire altcoin market over the past few years while Bitcoin's been pumping, just a quick disclaimer. Nothing I say in this video is financial advice. Everything I say is for entertainment purposes only. If you wish to invest in crypto, you should understand that it's risky and you can lose money. So don't risk money that you can't afford to lose, and always do your own research before investing in anything. Now that we got that out of the way, let's crack on with it. Now guys, just yesterday we saw some CPI data released that caused Bitcoin and Ethereum to do this, getting the entire market pretty excited about what is coming up. But while everyone is focusing towards the Bitcoin price, I can't help but look across at this chart. Because from what I remember all the way back in 2021, it was when Ethereum started to really get going that we really saw the entire crypto market changing sentiment, when we started to see altcoins really waking up. And that's what we're all waiting for, right? So what do we see here? Well, first of all, we know that Ethereum topped out versus Bitcoin here, all the way back in December of 2021. Not really sure why I've written November here, but it was December the 6th, 2021. And from there, Ethereum has basically been in a downtrend versus Bitcoin for a very long time. And right now, it is threatening to break out of this downtrend area at around 0.028. And you can see jumping across to here, the last time we saw a big breakout was from literally the exact same price that we are sat at right now. Now, as well, what we can see is this. Ethereum versus Bitcoin actually bottomed here in April of 2025, which is about 15 months ago. And as you see looking across here, this happened previously back in 2019. This was around August of 2019. And then you can see all the way up to January of 2021, which again is between a year and a half later, eventually it gets that breakout. So Ethereum bottoms against Bitcoin earlier. And this is basically a very, very similar pattern that we're seeing. Now, this is very important for us, even if you're not holding Ethereum, because it represents something very important. During this period of time when Ethereum was absolutely ripping, you started to see the altcoin market going wild. Okay, so this is a very, very key chart to pay attention to. And it's so key because both Bitcoin and Ethereum sit in different categories. Ethereum sits in the category of altcoins and Bitcoin sits in the category of just Bitcoin, right? These two different component parts of crypto can sometimes move independently from one another. And allow me to show you that. I mean, simply, you can just look at Bitcoin from 2022 all the way up until 2025. It does a 660% move. Not only that, it goes from previous all-time high and it rallies between 80 and 90%. And on the flip side, Ethereum barely broke above previous all-time high, just achieving a few $100s more. And this basically tells you that Ethereum, along with the altcoin market, hasn't seen a bull run since 2021. And that's why this time is lining up very differently from what we've seen in prior cycles. Because as you can see here, this downtrend for Ethereum versus Bitcoin began in June of 2017 and then finished in December of 2020, which is about 3.5 years. This one here began in 2021 and we're right up here nearly 5 years later. Okay, that's very, very key to pay attention to. The timing of this is very different from what we saw before. So when can we expect this to break out? What's been causing Bitcoin and Ethereum to pump over the last few days? And what are we expecting to happen to crypto over the next few weeks and months of this summer? Well, let's quickly talk about what happened yesterday. Now, as you can see, Bitcoin rallied strongly, going up around 4, nearly 5%. Ethereum rallied around 7%. But in a very quick space of time, the gold market also rallied around 2.2%. Obviously, it's starting to track back right now, but that was linked to the same announcement that we saw. And in fact, around $500 billion was added to the gold market cap in a very short space of time. And silver also added over $100 billion to its market cap in that period of time as well. Obviously, right now, it's pretty much given all of that back. Now, the reason they both did that is simply this. Core inflation came down and was much lower than expected. In fact, the CPI numbers yesterday were the biggest decrease that the US has seen in over 4 years. And inflation numbers are simply this. It measures the rate at which costs rise over time. If that happens too fast, then effectively you'll see interest rates increasing. They have to pump up interest rates to control inflation. So when there's high inflation, everyone panics that you're going to get high interest rates. What does crypto hate? high interest rates. They hate high interest rates because effectively it stops people from borrowing. When interest rates are lower, it means that lots of people can borrow and economies will grow. People use that money to invest in other stuff, and ultimately that's why crypto, stocks, and everything else do really well when you have lower interest rates. Low inflation equals potential for low interest rates. And this news meant that now the expectation for the Federal Reserve to increase interest rates dropped from around 45% to just 6%. And this is very important because up until yesterday, everybody was expecting that the Federal Reserve were going to increase interest rates at the end of this month, which is why the Bitcoin price and crypto prices in general have been pretty flat since the last FOMC meeting. Suddenly you remove the chances that you're going to see interest rate hikes, and all of a sudden all the risk assets pump. And as you can see, US CPI simply does this. If it's hot, or i.e. the numbers are bigger than expected, then you're going to see higher rates for longer, which means that gold, the Nasdaq, and risk assets like crypto go down. If it's cooler than expected, or a lot cooler than expected, i.e. the coolest numbers that you've seen for over 4 years, then it says that interest rate cuts could be back on the table, the US dollar will weaken, gold prices will go up, Nasdaq goes up, and so do risk assets. And the fact that this hit gold, it hit stocks, it hit the US dollar, as well as hitting crypto, shows you that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the altcoins are just part of the broader global economy, which means that it's undeniable that crypto is following the macro market, not just its own cycles. So when can we expect to see Bitcoin and Ethereum and the wider crypto market going up? What does this recent news really mean for us about the Bitcoin price? Well, as you can see, the key resistance area for Bitcoin sits here, just over $67,000. And it's a price that we haven't really seen since all the way back on the 3rd of June, which is about a month and a half ago. Now, I do think that there is a potential to kind of carry on up from here, and that's because of what we're seeing with regards to the Japan M2. And we'll talk later about what yesterday's CPI data has done to the Japan M2 for later on into September, October time. Now, as you can see, Japan's M2 has been very critical in basically explaining when we're going to see pivots in the Bitcoin price over time. Okay, you can see that this has basically been controlling a lot of what's been happening to Bitcoin. While the global M2 is kind of having a bit of an impact, really the Japanese M2 is probably the critical one, because Japan has basically been the world bank for many years with 0% interest rates. Everyone's been borrowing money from Japan at 0% to invest in other things. So if the Japan M2 is up, it means that there is more of that liquidity flowing around for everyone to invest in risk assets. If the M2 comes down, it means that there is less availability and there's more likelihood that you're going to have to start paying off loans, etc., back to Japan. Now, this comes with an 84-day delay, which is effectively 12 weeks. And as you can see, there is a very big spike coming up here in the M2. Now, I'm not expecting this to be accurate to the single day, but you can see that once we've seen in the past these kind of big pivots up, ultimately you do see increases in price. So I do think that we are going to continue rising for Bitcoin probably until sometime around the end of this month, and probably into kind of around the 10th to 15th of August, we could be seeing a potential for a bit of a pullback. Now, right now you are paying attention to the fact that this is all the way down here, and that will have many people very worried. I understand. But actually what we should pay attention to is what happened yesterday. Because for those of you who are unaware, the Japan M2 is effectively doing the exact opposite today of what the US dollar is doing. You can see that it's basically hitting into support area here, which is very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto in general. And it's all linked to what's been happening in the dollar index. Now, if we want to believe that the Bitcoin bottom is already in, along with the altcoins, etc., then really what we need to see is the DXY or dollar going down from here, because you can see the M2 is bouncing in the zone because the dollar is basically running into resistance. And if this breaks lower, it's going to be bullish for Bitcoin, crypto, gold, silver, etc. And I actually talked about how it affects gold and things like that on my other channel, which is Peter Anthony Finance. Make sure you go and check it out after this. I'll leave a link down below for this video here, talking about the gold price and why the gold price has been falling despite the fact that we have got war on in the Middle East, typically something that would cause gold prices to go up. So make sure you go and check it out after this. Also, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel while you're at it. Let's push it over 1,000 subscribers in the next few days. And as you can see here, chances are the DXY is really running into fairly substantial resistance and isn't really likely to break through. Okay, so pushing down here means that we're going to see M2 pushing up. More M2 means that Bitcoin can thrive. And Bitcoin does well, ultimately altcoins will do better. And this time around is slightly different because the last time when Bitcoin was rising and doing really well, the altcoins were being constrained by things like high interest rates, no quantitative easing, in fact, quantitative tightening. This time is different because we are seeing things like the Federal Reserve balance sheet increasing. And this is why the ISM is now over 50 in expansion, and it has been for the best part of this year. This is why the altcoins have actually been doing relatively well compared to Bitcoin over the past few months. Because the altcoins versus Bitcoin are currently up nearly 23% from all the way back in December. And if you look at the others chart, which is altcoins outside the top 10, you can see that they bottomed all the way back in February. That low that was seen the other day was 6% higher than it was February the 5th, and right now, altcoins are up nearly 17% from those February lows. And for now, I'll just continue to remind you, copper versus gold is currently breaking out of this pattern here. This is very important because over the last few years, since 2021, we saw quantitative tightening, we saw pressure that caused altcoin markets to struggle. This is the others versus Bitcoin, which is the altcoins versus Bitcoin. This, I would imagine, looks very similar to the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. These are all aligning, and you can see that they are all breaking out at the same time in line with what's happening on the macro. Hopefully, this is starting to make sense. Crypto is not random, right? It's very closely linked to a lot of other data and a lot of what's happening in the economy. The more you can start to understand this, pay attention to the kind of bigger shifters that are going on, it's going to give you a much bigger clue of what's really happening behind the scenes. Understand what moves Bitcoin, which is effectively the global M2 and kind of Japanese M2, which is effectively moved around by what's going on with macro data and information. And then at the same time, understand what moves the altcoins, the other component part of crypto. Altcoins effectively do well when Bitcoin does well, but they do really, really well when the economy is doing well and Bitcoin does well. This is what the two moving parts are. This is why we saw a big bull market for Bitcoin over the past few years, but the altcoins never got one since back in 2021. Let me know down below whether you think truly that altcoins could possibly see another major altcoin season. If you think that we could, what altcoins are you personally holding that you think are going to do the best? And by the way, right now, if you're an experienced trader, or you want to just kind of buy and sell crypto or gold and silver after doing your own research, of course, then make sure you check out Yubit, linked down below in the description, because it's a unique exchange that not only provides you with the ability to access different crypto markets, but you can also access things like stocks, commodities, etc. So if you think that there's going to be a big bounce coming from gold because of what's happening in the dollar and interest rates, maybe you can go and check it out on Yubit, because you can deposit here in crypto, change it into stocks, change it into gold, silver, whatever else it is. It's available worldwide, and if you use my link specifically, you're going to be able to access different trading events and competitions to be able to maximize the potential opportunity in the market right now. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Make sure you go and check out my other channel, Peter Anthony Finance. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye-bye.